The TCM stuff is also, there's several of those 4 categories. You're gonna have your grain sheet, and that helps you understand the TCM. You're gonna have your vegetables, your fruits, and your herbs and nuts and seeds. So those are important ones, and they help you figure out, 1, what you can offer, and 2, what the Chinese medicine information is on these particular things. So again, we're looking at the picture. So as your horse starts picking things, and he's an interesting horse for me because he definitely is a massive chow hound. I mean, loves his food, but also does not select certain things. So people always say, oh, but my horse eats everything. And I mean, I can't think of another horse that is hugely food motivated, but he does not pick everything. So I'm actually going to get started. Are you going to roll in there before? You look like you want to roll. And we're going to go through a series of things. This one might run a little bit longer today than I usually run because we have so much to go through. And I have so many categories, so you're interested. Now, this is a good way to do a little test before you waste a lot of expensive herbs. So I'm letting him smell it. And if he sort of tries to act like he wants to take it, like he's trying to eat out of the bag, then I'm gonna see that and I'm put a little tiny bit in there just to see. He's probably never had that before. Barley grass is messy. Wear clothes you don't care about. So he's kind of looking at it with curiosity. So I'm gonna try a little bit, just let him smell it again. And a lot of times when we give powders to horses, they don't always register them. They're not used to eating them. So I put just a little bit more in there. But on my worksheet, there are 3 categories: strong response, moderate response, and small. Strong means your horse is acting desperate for this item. So I don't know if you can see his expression right now, but I would not call this desperate. I'm adding a little bit at a time, and he's licking it up, but I do not have a sense of him being like, oh my God, I really need that thing. So he's licking it, and I'm not dumping a lot in here because he doesn't seem to have a strong response. So I'm putting little pores in, but I'm also feeling how much pressure he puts on the pan. And by the way, I'm using simple takeout containers. These make great self-selection pans, especially these big round ones. So it's good reduce, reuse, recycling of your takeout plastic containers, and they can be easily washed in the washing machine, in your dishwasher. So he's going back for more of this, which means, so we have a positive. This is a positive for sure. So sometimes your horse will just take a lick and be like, oh no. So I'm not even sure I call it as a strong response, but he's generally interested in this item. And he's going from what I'd call moderate to, it appears to me that, and I look at the horse's eye as well, that he's almost figuring out that, yeah, I actually really do want this. I've never had it before, but I actually really do want it. So he's becoming somewhat more intense in his way he's eating it. So these are things that you look for. So I've now refilled this several times with a little bit at a time, so I try not to waste it. And this especially, barley grass can be a little bit expensive. But I feel like he keeps coming back for more. So this is one that I often start with. So he's seeming like he keeps coming back. So this is now, I clearly, and I mentioned in the beginning, now he's biting at it, which is actually interesting. So he's actually, maybe he's like, wow, I actually really do like this. Now I suspect because he's never had this before, I often see this in more traditionally cared for horses. He hasn't had access to a lot of, let's say, not readily available foods. And so now I feel like he's actually eating this with some intensity. So I poured more in that time because I saw him starting to bite the pan. Like he was like, wow, I really want to uptake more of this. But in my head, I still haven't gotten to about the 4 ounce mark. So this is about a 1 pound bag. And if you think about 4 ounces, that would be a quarter of this bag. So that would be, I'd consider, especially for a large size horse like this, a safe amount. And now I've put